Hey guys, it's Lynn's Carnation from the Librarian Lovers. It's 1 in the morning, and I am wide awake because I drank a Starbucks energy drink at 11 o'clock. After watching ExcaliburFeels' video talking about the premiere, and then I outlined my video while listening to KingdomKeepers365 talk about the first episode, I'm just kind of like, I need to talk about the Librarians. I need to do it. Like, I'm so happy. My favorite show. We have another season. So, like, first thing first, I'm so happy that they named the episodes after Prospero, because I love The Tempest. I literally just read it for the first time, and Prospero was the coolest character. And, like, having the episodes named The Drowned Book and The Broken Staff was really cool. Also, so much Evelyn. Or Evelyn. I've been saying it wrong because I asked everyone online and now I'm like, I don't even know. Just, there's so much Evelyn. It makes me so happy. I've shipped that since I watched the first 4 episodes. Well, first 4 aired episodes. And, like, I just love it. There was so much of it. Like Flynn with the scarf thing and, like, pulling her around by the waist and putting her against the wall. It was so cute. Just all of it. I loved it. Oh, and the I need you kiss. And then I think I love you bear line, like, there's my heart and soul. Just it's my soul flew off. It flew away out of my body. And I like seeing the librarians working on their own, especially, like, I love Cassandra with all my heart, and Ezekiel is my favorite out of all the lits. I know I don't give Jake enough love. Jake's awesome too. But, like, seeing Ezekiel being still cocky and, like, it was so funny, him, like, he got all the way in there, they're like, oh, no one could get in, and then, like, he pops up and is like, hey, can I get out then? It was so Ezekiel, and it was so perfect, and I love John Kim, he's amazing. And, like, I love seeing, freaking, how did Cassandra know that it'd be a goat that the scientists would turn into? Like, what the hell were those scientists doing that they turn into a goat? What? The fictionals are so cool. Freaking Prospero and Ariel and Moriarty, and, like, seeing the Queen of Hearts was epic, and, like, the Frankenstein monster actually getting love. Like, the literature geek in me I had so much fun with that. I remember ExcaliburFeels said something about her theory that Jenkins was a fictional. And as freaking cool as that would be, I don't think it's possible. Because, like, I think in this universe, it's basically established that Camelot was a thing that actually happened. Because, like, if Jenkins was a fictional from the Arthurian stories, then Duloc would have to be a fictional. And if he was fictional, how the Serpent Brotherhood happened, and, like, there's all the art and from, like, the Crown of King Arthur, they had the thing about Arthur was a Roman, and, like, the sword and the stone and the crown all existing. I mean, you could argue since Prospero's book and staff existed, and he's a fictional, it might work. But I feel like in the Librarians universe, like, Camelot just happened. And that's just it. Like, that's where magic came from. So I don't think Jenkins could be a fictional, as fucking cool as that would be. That'd be really freaking cool, and it'd be a nice way to tie it all in, but no. I don't think Jenkins is fictional. I'm just, like, jumping around, but, like, Ezekiel trying to flirt with the Italian princess, that was amazing. Like, I'm making gifs of that. That was beautiful. Just the wink, him failing multiple times, it was lovely. It stole my heart. I'm more in love with Ezekiel than I will ever be. Also, mentioning the Italian bird, bisexual Cassandra. The bit with her just basically flirting with her was amazing. Like, I just need Dean to be on Twitter or have Lindy do it and just be like, guess what, guys, Cassandra's really gay, or just, you know, just bi, either one, because I know all you Cassandra shippers out there. I mean, I ship Cassandra as well, but not as much as I ship Evelyn. ExcaliburFeels, I blame you. You said you pronounce it Evelyn, and now I'm saying Evelyn, but it's Evelyn. It's gotta be Evelyn. Someone, I can't remember who it was talking about how they wanted Flynn to have ADHD, or be, confirmed to have ADHD, And that would be fucking cool as shit. Because not only would this show have, like, awareness, because it's already got, well, I shouldn't say multicultural. They've got the one Australian dude, really, it's still a pretty white show. But, like, I don't know, I'm weird. But beyond the race issue maybe with it that someone could argue if it's not diverse enough in that case. I mean, having Cassandra as a bisexual character and acknowledging, like, different mental illnesses that each of the librarians have. Like, I don't know about Jake, and, Cassandra's got the brain grape. And you could say Ezekiel's got some sort of narcissistic personality disorder. Freaking Flynn's definitely got ADHD. The way his brain's hardwired, it's the way it's always been. It's just who he is, and it would make so much sense. And I was messing around with the idea of Eve having OCD, because she seems to be the type of person to, like, constantly want to make plans and be organized and ordered. And I remember, like, the worst possible version of her in the Apple of Discord was someone who was, like, wanted to have all the control and everyone to shut up and follow orders. So, it kind of makes sense being, like, that kind of control freak. And she has to have PTSD from being in the military. She's got to have something, because she's, like, so worried all the time about losing the lids. It makes sense. It really does. Everything with Flynn. Guys, I'm the biggest Flynn fangirl ever. Like, I was introduced to the show by my grandfather, and I watched the first 4 episodes with him in his house. And then, for first 4, it was the first 3, and then Santa's Midnight Run. But I watched the first 4 with him, and then I went home with my mom, and we watched the 3 Librarian movies while we waited for the 5th episode, I think, would they air. They aired Apple of Discord after that, and I fell in love with Flynn Carson. The character's wonderful. I love Noah Wiley. I am the biggest Flynn Carson fangirl you will ever find. Like, if anyone has a question about Flynn, come ask Flynn's Carnation from the Librarian Lovers, because there's a 90% chance that I will know what it is, and if it's in that 10%, I will go watch the movies again just to find out. I seriously will. I love Flynn. Flynn's wonderful. Jumping around again. The moment when Jake with the suit, and he's like, we were a team, right? And, like, Cassandra being like, no, we weren't. But then the hug, and, like, I think they had a fist pump. Yeah, Ezekiel and Jake had the fist pump, and they're like, they're gonna be a team again, and I'm happy to see that. And they're like, they're the cutest. And it's just Cassandra hug. It was just, I love Cassandra because she's, like, that kind of touchy-feely person, and she's so cute. She's so cute. Oh my god, the way they took out the storm was so cool. Like, it was really freaking cool. First off, why do you have a sun in a sunroom? Okay, nah. Jenkins is right. What other possible thing would you keep in the sunroom besides a sun? But where did the second sun come from? This is questions I need answered. That whole scene, and, like, Statue of Liberty, Eve going, you remembered, and, like, after they were all done, Jake burning his hand by, like, trying to shake hands with Jenkins and then doing that with his arm. Like, oh my god. Jake Stone, my sweet angel. No, don't touch yourself, you're hot. It was just, I love the first episode. The first episode was really good. Okay, second episode. Group meeting. Amazing! That was so cool. Seeing, like, Flynn try and take control, but then Jenkins is in the background like, I usually do this. You weren't here in season 1, and I usually gave all this backup information, and you showed up in the end like, hey, I'm the big man. It was beautiful, like the little tiny bit of Jenkins sass that I think the show should include more of. But it was weird seeing them interact too, because Jenkins talks to Flynn like he's a superior, but I feel like any day of the week Jenkins could take out Flynn. Like, in all seriousness, Jenkins a freaking Galahad of the Knights of the Round Table. He's freaking 1,300 years old. He could take Flynn any day of the week, and it's really interesting to see how he still refers to him as Sir, like the Librarians' this almighty position. It's interesting. Ezekiel knowing the security and, like, acting like it wasn't a big thing, or, like, it's just that obvious. I always read the security code. He's wonderful, and, like, I think we kind of underestimate how smart he is, because, like, you need to know a lot to be able to steal things. And, like, I mean, he couldn't get past Baird in the first episode where he tried to nab Flynn's wallet, but that was just supposed to be cute. He could probably actually get away with that. I think he just wasn't trying. One thing that I really want to talk about with the Librarians that I love, like with the name of the show and the nature of the show, and especially the roots of the show, you'd think that it's all about intelligence and just, like, especially book smarts, which, I mean, there is a lot of book smarts, but I feel like Flynn's kind of all-encompassing. I mean, there's little bits and pieces, I think, and he's got the distractions in his head that make it harder for him to do the same things that the Lits can do, but, like, art smarts, science smarts, whatever the hell Ezekiel is smarts, like, they have all the different types of intelligences, but then they also have, like, the admiracy of brains and brawn. That's, like, the coolest fucking shit to me. And, like, how they show that, like, everyone has a bit of both in them, and you can't really be successful without having both. Like, Eve's a theater nerd with all this, like, knowledge of Shakespeare that she used to, like, help Flynn get where the piece of the broken staff was supposed to be. But she's also a kick-ass fighter who is in the military. She's got that balance of smart and brawn. And, like, who else? Like Jenkins. Jenkins is a huge example of that. He's got all that knowledge. He tinkers with all the machines. But he was a freaking knight of the round table who can, like, sword fight and do all this other bullshit. And it's amazing. And, like, even Flynn was taught to fight by Excalibur, and he's also this multi-layered genius, unlike Jake with his bar fights, but he can, like, argue over different art styles, influencing other artists. I know, Ezekiel can't fight, neither can Cassandra, but I still love them anyways. The character development for Jenkins gave me life. I love Jenkins as a character, and seeing him, like, express his own doubts about his abilities, and, like, especially comparing himself to Judson. Like, season 1, episode 1, he was like, I don't like Judson. Judson interferes with my work. Judson acts like he's the boss of me or he's better than me. But in reality, this whole time, he's, like, thinking Judson is better than me. Because Judson, not to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen the movies, spoiler alert, it's implied in the third Librarian movie that Judson was the original librarian, which means, you know, you want to think about how old Judson is. But, like, how Jenkins admires Judson and his control of the library and his relationship with the library, and, like, Jenkins being scared that the others wouldn't accept him because he can't control it the way Judson did, especially in Flynn's case, because Judson was a father to Flynn, and I don't think Flynn has the same respect for Jenkins, and it's really sad. Like, I feel like Jenkins, too, over the past, like, 11 or so years, probably, he's been just as alone as Flynn. And, like, the Lits and Eve and Flynn, they're, like, his family now. And I don't think he wants to lose them because he can't control the library. And it's just, he's so sad. And he doesn't show it, but he really loves them. And it makes me, like, want to cry sometimes because he really is just a wonderful character. And oh my god, the unlikely pairings. And, like, I know Cassandra and Jenkins isn't really unlikely, but, like, seeing those two together gives me life. They're adorable, and it's such, like, a grandfather-granddaughter relationship. And seeing my two favorite characters interacting in the same room by themselves, Flynn and Ezekiel, that was the best. And I kind of want to address the thing about Flynn not liking Ezekiel. I mean, I remember from, I think it had to be from The Crown of King Arthur, not The Sword in the Stone. Yeah, it was from The Crown of King Arthur. That Ezekiel tried to steal something and got in Flynn's way, and it pissed Flynn off. I guess, yeah, you wouldn't like someone from the beginning with that, but, like, after seeing what Ezekiel's done, you think he'd like him. And the fact that he doesn't makes me a little sad, because I feel like they'd be an epic team. Like, Ezekiel can get into anything. Flynn's got the knowledge to break all the puzzles. Like, it would work. It'd be awesome. But I like seeing those two work together. It was nice. I'm like 90% positive that Moriarty is going to turn on Prospero. Because number one, Prospero's a dick who, like, shot him full of electricity. 2, Moriarty is the type of character that cares about no one but his own self-interest. Like, he even said that to Eve. And 3, why would anyone want to be on Prospero's side? Like, it makes sense, I feel like. And I know there's the, come with me if you want to live line, which is probably from later on, because I know they got rid of Flynn, and unless he's in the next episode, no, he's not. That's a, lit-centric episode. They'll probably bring him back in around the 5th or 6th episode like they did last season, and then they'll probably have the Moriarty line. You know, the come with me if you want to live, and the robot from the future, blah blah blah. And that will probably be the turning point where you see, like, oh, Moriarty's changing sides. I feel like that's just gonna happen. When my little genius fake burning the tree so Prospero would go away, and then the tiny little tree of knowledge. I kind of wish they made it more shaped like the tree of knowledge that you see, like, in the Librarians movies. Like, I know, who was it? It was either ExcaliburFeels or Summersfells that had the, library cosplay, and they have, like, the necklace with the tree of knowledge on it. Like, I kind of hoped they made it shaped more like that, even though small, because, you know, knowledge, there's always more of it. That was cute. Like, the tree of knowledge being the tiny thing was cute. Flynn being an absolute genius to getting rid of Prospero was amazing, but I do wish the tree was shaped differently. I'm weird. Flynn leaving broke my heart into, like, 1,000,001 pieces, because I want him to stay around, but he's not a series regular. It's about the Lits, it's about Eve, it's about Jenkins. We got 3 movies with Flynn, and I get it. And it's gonna be nice to see some character development. I know I just read something from a con in London. He said that Flynn gets some more people skills, so his people skills aren't rusty. And, you know, we'll get more of him. And I'm sad to see him go, but that's just gonna be the way it works, I think. We might get more of him this season, I hope. But I know Noah's got Falling Skies that he's working on. That's a work in progress thing still. He's not doing ER anymore, I don't think. And he's a producer for the show, so he's got a lot on his plate, so he can't be there for every episode. And I'm not even worried about Evelyn. Yeah, I said it right this time, Evelyn. Because they love each other. They do. And that's just a little bump in the road. That's what happens. It'll be fine. Overall, I'm so happy with our series premiere. Like, it was fabulous overall. Better than expected. It was the core of that Librarians. Like, it was everything from season 1 that we established and love about these characters put in the 2 episodes that start off our new series, so we can learn more about them and watch them grow more. And I'm really happy. It's gonna be cool, and I sound like I'm gonna cry. It's just because I'm speaking really softly, because it's now 2 in the morning. This took me way too long to film. I hope you guys enjoyed. You should go follow the Librarian Lovers. You're probably following already, though, if you see this video, and if you're not, you should, because it's awesome. And I just bought a season pass, so I'm gonna be making a lot of gifts as the episodes go. I don't know, I'll probably work on some tonight since I'm still hyped up from the energy drink. Oh, and you should follow my main blog, That Queer Angel. There's a lot of Supernatural on it, because besides the Librarians, Supernatural is one of my main fandoms. But I do occasionally post some Librarian stuff in there, and I might give updates about when I'm making edits or, like, ideas that I have, and I'm going to put on the Librarian Lovers. Like, Librarian Lovers is sort of the official thing. And then there's me doing whatever the fuck I do on That Queer Angel. Yeah. Bye, guys.